Howdy, howdy, howdy. How are y'all doing? Welcome to another episode of Cliff Notes Live. I think it's episode number 151. I hope so. Y'all realize what that means. 52 episodes a year. I don't think I've missed an episode so far. 156 is going to mean my third 3-year anniversary for doing those things. We're going to have to do something to celebrate. We'll be through by Big Brother by then. So, yeah, we're going to have to figure out something to do. But in the meanwhile, welcome to all of y'all. A big old SKD 143. Love my wife, love my kids, love reality TV. I especially love Big Brother, but especially love the Big Brother fans out there around the world. I guess it's around the world, mainly US and Canada, but we got some around the world as well. Welcome to all of you who are watching live, all of you who are watching on replay later. I appreciate all of you. So much fun to spend a Monday night with y'all. So welcome aboard. We've got another episode of Big Brother. Y'all realize we've got 18 days left. What's that work out to? Another couple of episodes, Monday night episodes to talk about Big Brother, and then we're done. Unless we get, I heard there could be a winter spring version, not celebrity, just maybe, I don't know, winners or something else. We'll see. I'm looking forward to it. Keep it coming, Julie. Welcome to all of y'all on board. Before I go any further, just a real quick mention, as I always do, if you haven't already done so, please consider going out, subscribing to my channel, turning on notifications. Give the big old thumbs up is always appreciated as well. But if you do that, you'll get updates whenever I drop a new morning recap episode. I'm trying to get those out as quick as I can, but sometimes it's a little tough. I had audio issues today. I had to retape it. I guess you don't tape anymore. I re-record it. What a pain. But that's all right. I got it done. But if you haven't done so already, please consider subscribing, and it is appreciated. All right. With that being said, there's some of y'all out here. Let me start off before I go any further. And just think, Connie Garbarino, thank you so much for the super chat sticker. I absolutely appreciate it. Spoofer, you're always out there supporting me. Thank you as well. Guys, I absolutely do appreciate it. As I said before, I do this thing. It's a labor of love because I love Big Brother so much. And now I've just really gotten used to hanging out with you guys as well. So thank you for the support. I do appreciate it. All right, let me see who all's out here as we go through. And I'm going to, excuse me, I'm going to try to hold off on comments and questions as much as I can until just a little bit later. I just want to see who's out here. Heather Marshall. Hey, Heather, how are you doing? First one in. Marilyn Sutherland, Patty Bell, Patricia Miller, Cindy Heyer. So many questions I want to talk to all y'all about. Brian Hostetler, Tina Warner. What my comments said? Just freeze up on me. There we go. All right, sorry about that, guys. Brian Hostetler, Tina Warner, Michelle Moore, Glenn Crack Official LLC. Well, that sounds official. Jake the Horror Movie Geek, Mark Taylor, Taylor Magnus. Let's see, who else do I have? Connie Gabarino. Again, thank you for the support. Appreciate it. Amanda Lowe. Amanda, how are you doing? Paula Scar, Tammy Flanagan, LJ Price, Andy W, Carissa West. Let's see, Ma, how are you? How is school going? You're just about done, aren't you, with one semester? All right, let's see. Tell me how to pronounce that. Deborah Nail, Daryl Williams, David Taylor. God, I love it. I see the people I recognize all the time, and then I see new folks as well. Welcome to all of y'all. Chaz, Lee Stack, Kiki, Amber Hayes. I think we'll shut it down back there. Zachary. Hey, Zachary Weiss is out there. And Spencer McGill, Heather Van Hart Powell, Gleeful 321, Jamaica Tenort. All right, and Maddie Denchi. All right, sorry, guys. I will shut it down there. Y'all don't want me hear me reciting names all episode long, right? That'd be like a telethon without the benefits of a telethon. Welcome to all of you. Hope you're doing fantastic out here. Now, I did have a couple of mentions real quick before I went any further. Cindy Hire. Y'all may have seen in the comments. Cindy and I have talked before. Cindy got a Zoom call with Julie Chen. That is so cool. Cindy, you probably talked to Julie more than I've ever talked to her. Julie was very nice. When we went into the house, saw her for just a second from across the stage. It was all, we couldn't talk to anyone about anything. It was all about getting us in the house. When we came out, when I got evicted, I did have a chance to visit with her just a little bit. And then at finale night, I got to talk to her. Of course, all the questions in the world, the question I had is there going to be a celebrity Big Brother? But nah, Cliff, probably not this year. Next year. This year, we're going to be dealing with the Olympics. So, no. Didn't know we were dealing with COVID and stuff as well. But, so I talked to her just a little bit. But Julie was so many people fighting for her time. So I didn't really ever get a whole, she never really spent a lot of time talking to any of us. So I'm kind of envious, Cindy. That's pretty cool. Congratulations on that. I would love to get her and just pick her brain, see what she thinks about some of these seasons, some of these episodes that she's dealt with over the years. See what she thought about my season when we had a little bit of a leak. I think it was a satellite feed or something, and they had her getting prepped and ready, and we're all fighting and arguing inside the house. Not a clue what's going on outside, so that would be a little cool. All right, let's see what else we've got on here as well. A few of the comments I wanted to talk about. Mark Taylor. All right, I'm gonna hold off on that one real quick, Mark, because that's more Big Brother. Let me see what else y'all got. Taylor. All right, let me. Sorry, guys. We had a couple on here, and then we're going to talk about Big Brother. All right. Brian mentioned PJ Walker. Wins another one for the Browns. Why does anyone care about? Well, if you're a Browns fan, you care about it. I told Brian it's pretty cool. I actually met PJ Walker. He used to be quarterback for the Houston Roughnecks, the XFL team. So I've got a picture of me posing with PJ. Now he's playing for the Cleveland Browns. That's kind of cool and completely unrelated to Big Brother. But I did want to throw it out there. Jake, the horror movie geek, I thought of you in particular because today is International Horror Movie Day. Makes sense I'd be shouting you out, right? For those of you who don't know, my all-time scariest, maybe not the scariest movie ever, but the one that scared me the most, Dawn of the Dead by George Romero. Oh, I saw it in a shopping mall at midnight. It did a number on me. It was in high school. Still scared me to death. All right, let's see. So a few questions that that I'm going to talk about. Mark's saying, in your position on day 81, 82, wherever we are, who do you think's in the best position to win this thing? Man, I tell you what, guys, I picked going in that I thought Jag was going to win this, but I really picked him more because he seemed to be level-headed. He talked about wanting to have fun while he's in the house. I thought, all right, as long as you're going in with the right ideas about playing the game, then that's perfect. I think Jag's in a pretty good position to win this whole thing. He's, for those, now let me say this, because I know we do have some new people, so I do want to mention, there's things we're going to talk about that have not been shown on the episodes, right? So don't think this is a spoiler-free zone. It ain't. Now, we're going to talk about them, including the veto ceremony today. But I think Jag is in a fantastic position. Do you realize he basically has a final three or final four with every single person in this house, and they all believe it, or at least they act like they believe it. You've got Jag and Matt and Bowie on one side. You've got Sari, Felicia, Matt and Jag on another one. You've got Blue and Jag and Matt and maybe Bowie. I can't figure that relationship. And now you've got America that they've kind of been promoting a little bit of a final three to her as well. I saw just before we came on, if y'all were watching the live feeds, or if you weren't, it still was happening. Jag and Matt brought America up to the HOH room to just share a beer with her. Now, it's not so much that she's getting beer, but they're doing it in secret. So they're bringing her into the fold and making her feel like she's very special to them. What a fantastic way to make sure she feels safe so that if she does win HOH on Thursday, she doesn't turn around and go after Matt and Jag. Now, maybe she still will. They did send Corey out of the house and put her on the block, right? So you got to have a little bit of a vendetta, I would think. Maybe she actually will come after him if she gets a chance, but it certainly seems like she's willing to work with them going forward. We had at one point, I think it was Matt who told Jag, he said, look, if we can just make it past the double eviction, everyone's going to want to ride with us to the very end because no one's going to think we can be beat after that. So we're going to have everyone trying to pile on. If they're trying to join up with you, that means they may not be gunning for you if they to win an HOH. I think they're in a fantastic position. Now, having said that, so my first pick is Jag. Having said that, if someone on the other side does win HOH and they want to make a wild move, say a Felicia maybe, then I can see if someone puts up Jag on the block, he stays on the block, he doesn't win veto, which may not be so likely that he wouldn't win based on how he's done so far. But if that was the case, I can see Jag going home, at which point I'm probably throwing it towards Matt is my next choice. I think these guys, they've played a hellacious game. I'm really impressed how well they've played the game. So Mark, that's who I'm thinking is probably Jag. If I was betting money, I'd probably be betting Jag on this thing. He's won 5 comps in a row. Can you imagine that? Even Jackson Mickey for my season didn't win that many in a row. Michael last season, he won a lot, but then he lost one, and that's all it took to send him out the door. We'll see what happens but they're running out of time. All right. Cindy saying at the end of the call, she invited me and my daughter to be her guest at next summer's season of Big Brother in the audience. That is very cool. I thought it would be so much fun for me. I would love to go back and watch a show from the audience. I think they let former house guests sit there as long as we keep our mouth shut and everything else. So yeah, that would be kind of cool. I'd like to go see it one of these days. Yeah, did Cindy, she talk about me? Did you ask her about me? Oh, I just can only imagine the story she's heard. She's talked about the fact that when she first started, she wasn't sure that she really wanted to do Big Brother. She thought that was kind of a step down from her role as a news anchor and all of that. And I guess CBS kind of said, yeah, if you want to work for the company, you need to kind of do what we want every once in a while. And they kind of strong armed her into it. And now here she is 25 seasons later. And say y'all did talk about me. I hope y'all both had decent things to say about me. I like Julie. I think she told me during the commercial when I got evicted, she looked over at me. She said, Cliff, what happened? Y'all were doing so well right up here to the very end. I said, yeah, I know, Julie. Maybe I overthought it a little bit. Maybe we tried to make one deal too many, but it is what it is. So I think Julie Chen respects game players and people who give it their all, whether they make it or not. Kind of like Jeff Probst over in Survivor. This isn't the Survivor channel, so we won't talk too much about it. But can you believe over in that show, so many people are quitting or wanting to quit? I guarantee you, Big Brother, if someone on my cast had quit, I would have given them more grief. Kat Dunn, during week 1, talked a little bit about self-evicting. And I went in and read her the riot act, said, you will never forgive yourself. You will not evict. I will not let you evict. And eventually she backed off and it was fine. But yeah, that was such a chance. A 1 in a million chance, lightning in a ball to get to play that game, be it Survivor, Big Brother, whatever. And you walk away. I just don't get it. All right. You don't get me on that soapbox. I'm big into fighting to the very end. All right. Taylor Magnus is saying, hey, Taylor, Jag is slowly contracting HOitis. Oh, yeah, isn't he? Maybe he should be the boot from the devil. If he's not, I think he's going to, as America said, you might as well just write the check to Jag if he's not. He's definitely been in power long enough. Do you remember how different it was when Cameron was the HOH and he drugged Jag in there? And he's saying, all right, I may keep you, but you got to keep your mouth shut. You can't, if you say anything, you're gone. If you do anything, you're gone. And Jag's just sitting there, okay. And he's so humble and meek and quiet and just, please, sir, may I have some more? And now he's on the other side of the coin, so to speak. Yeah, Jag has had power for a long time. He's doing a lot of plotting. I think he's overcomplicating a lot of things. He had talked at one point to Matt saying, what if we pretended like we weren't so close? We each start forming our own final twos so people feel even closer to us. And Matt saying, yeah, no, I don't want you forming final twos with anyone else because then they may think that they can get rid of you and I won't come after them or vice versa. Nah, we need to stick together. But yeah, I think Jag definitely has a little HOitis. He can't compete on Thursday for HOH, but I'm telling you, if Matt was to win it, I don't know that Matt's going to, he'll be officially the HOH, but I think Jag's going to be in Matt's ear the whole time, telling him exactly what to do. And he will definitely be at least co-HOH for yet another week. Is that not amazing how many competitions Jag has won? It just blows me away. Of all the people, I thought he was going to do fine. I didn't think, Felicia and Suri coming in, you think, well, they may not win that many competitions. I'm sure they looked at me and said the same thing. I did win a few. I won 4 competitions while I was at 4 competitions while I was in the house. So yeah, I did all right. But yeah, I expected Jag to do well, but I didn't necessarily expect him to be setting all kinds of records for the number of comps that he's won. Of course, it certainly helps this strategy that they had from the very beginning of get out the most competitive people. They got out Haisam, they got out Jared, they got out Corey, they've gotten out all Riley, they've gotten out all the people who were winning competitions and left behind those who are challenge impaired, we'll call it, competition impaired. I can't believe Matt hadn't won more. I really would expect him to have grabbed a few more, but it is what it is. All right. Let's see. I mentioned Con M Spoofer. Thank you so much. Karen Hummer, thank you for the support, for the super sticker. I appreciate it. She said, love eating dinner with Cliff and friends. Well, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. I hope you're eating something good. I hope it doesn't involve pickle wraps, which is what Felicia fixed yesterday. I heard some things about those pickle wraps we can talk about if y'all want. And then Norma Ace as well. RC. Sorry about that, Norma. Norma RC supported me with a super sticker as well. Thank you. She said, evening, Cliff. Well, good evening to you as well. Thank y'all for the support. It is much appreciated. All right, Zachary Weiss saying, I think Matt is still in the driver's seat. That could be. Let Jag make enemies. His people management has been great. And even if he gets to the end, he saved Jag from going home. You're absolutely right. I think that's a big point. And, there's some people that say once you're evicted, you shouldn't be entitled to win the prize. That once you're evicted, that's it. Now, obviously, having been in a battle back myself, I always thought that was wrong. I think a lot of it depends on how you got evicted, how you got back in. Jag got brought back in through really no work of his own, although he had the relationship with Matt that got him back in. But I feel like because I had to fight my way back in, I had to win a competition. I would have argued about anyone who said that I didn't deserve it, because I would have said, don't punish me for getting evicted. Reward me for fighting my way back in and doing what was necessary. But yeah, Jag did get evicted, 10-0, if I recall, and then just selectively got picked by Matt to come back in. I do think that'll carry weight with the jury. And if it was close, if Matt had won a couple of comps and Jag had won 3 or 4, it may carry a lot of weight, because at the end, Matt's going to be able to say the only reason Jag is here is because I brought him here. But when he does that, I think Jag is going to counter and say, yeah, but if I hadn't won all of those competitions, Matt and I both would have been gone a long time ago. And I think they're both right. I know during my season, when Nicole and I were thinking maybe there was a little glimmer that we could make it to the final 2, I remember thinking the same thing, that Nicole was certainly going to make the argument that she had saved me with the BB Comics win. And so I was only there because of her. But I was going to argue that I had certainly saved her with some of my victories as well. And in the end, neither one of us probably would have been there without the support of the other one. And I feel the same way with Matt and Jag. It may come down to, if you get those two on the chairs together, the final 2, it may come down to the jury. Are they going to respect strategic gameplay? Are they going to respect comp wins more? Or are they going to respect a nice person, the jury management? Matt's friendly with everyone. Everyone feels like they're best friends with Matt, and that's not necessarily quite the case with Jag. So I don't know. I think it could be close. And then you have wild cards like Blue and Felicia. I think those two are going to be bitter jurors that probably will vote for or against whoever they feel is most responsible for sending them out the door. Which means, for those of you who don't know, they had the veto ceremony today. It was not used. And it sure is looking like Blue is going home on Thursday. And I think she'll hold that against Jag more so than Matt. She may vote against Jag for that very reason. Felicia, we don't know yet. She may feel burned. She's going to be feeling burned by a lot of people. So yeah, I don't know. It's really up in the air how this jury is going to behave. So we'll find out. We'll see as we get a little further into it. I think I will say I'm a little surprised that people aren't doing a little bit more jury management. Some of these goodbye messages. Blue, I guess Blue just, I don't know why. She's still being a little salty in her goodbye messages. The one that she gave to Corey last week, I thought was not what I would have said if I was trying to get a vote from someone for $750,000. But that is Blue. All right. Butterflies 015 saying, do you think the house guest will get videos from home soon? Will people in the jury house get them too? I'm not sure the people in the jury house get them. I don't know, since I never spent any time in the jury house myself. I don't think they get videos there. As far as in the house, you would think they'd be getting them real quick. During my season, I think we were supposed to get them when we were like the final 5, right? And it didn't happen. And eventually, I think they got their videos when there were only 3 people left. They got them right after I left the house, which still irritates me. I was so ready for those. Normally, you get them around final 5 or so is when it happens. So, yeah, you should be getting pretty close. Felicia's been talked about that. Forget gameplay. Well, she's doing a lot of gameplay, but at one point, she was also talking a lot about the videos. But, yeah, ours, they got their videos. My family put a video together, sent it in. And so I know that I'm pretty sure they were going to give it to us while I was still in the house, and it just didn't work out. But yeah, I've seen them. I've seen the video. That was cool. I wish I'd seen it while I was in the house, but that's all right. In the jury house, I don't think so. But here's one thing that's kind of cool that I do remember. We saw our BB comics because I competed in it. And Tommy and Nicole, myself, Holly, and Mickey. It was the final 5 when we did BB comics. So we got to see all our comics in the backyard and all of that. For the jury members who were already gone, they didn't get the chance to play BB comics, but they got their comics there in the jury house. In fact, they were all wrapped up. I think one at a time they went up and they unwrapped it and they got to look at it and ooh and ah and laugh about it and all of that. That's kind of neat. With us, we were so quickly playing the game. I didn't really get to spend a lot of time looking at mine. And so I just kind of remembered it and then didn't get to see it again until after the season was already over. The jury house got to see their comics while they're in the jury house. So yeah, that's kind of cool. That I love BB comics because everyone gets a comic, whether you're the first boot, the last boot, doesn't matter. As soon as you get into that Big Brother house, you're getting a comic, unless you're Luke and you screw up, and then all kinds of things you don't get. All right, and no to pronounce and no we. All right, thank you so much. As in you spell my name without an e. And no. Oh, Anne. Okay. Anne with no E. Right? Okay. I hope I got that right. Spelling, pronunciation. If I'm still saying it wrong, just assume it's a Texas accent. Anne. And no E. I said and no E. Yeah, Anne. All right, thank you. I'll see if I can remember that as well. Now you got me guess. Sibba Waba Ona Bubba Chibi. Okay. Saying, love you, dare you to say my name. Oh, just because I'm going to say it again. Sibba Waba Ona Bubba Chibi. And that's it, guys. We're out of time because as I said that. Thank you. I appreciate it. Sibba Waba Chibi. I'll just call you Chibi for short. How about that? Thank you. I appreciate the support. Connie Gavarito said, would you play again? And Stephanie 640 is saying you should go on Traders. I'd love to go on Traders. It kills me they did another season of it because the people that are on this season would be so much fun to play with. I'd have fun doing Traders. I don't want to give away my secret. I do think I know how to play the game. Now, talking about getting a little cocky and jag with HOitis, I actually do think I know how to play Traders a little better than some of the people played. I've got a strategy that I think would help me along the way. I'd love to do Traders at some point, but they got to call me first. I'd go into Scotland. Put me in a castle in Scotland. Yeah, that'd be quite the adventure and playing the game as well. Would I play the game of Big Brother again? Yeah, sure I would. It's easy to say. I was sitting there looking at these guys thinking, God, 100 days. It's probably good that I didn't realize when I first went in that house just how long 99 days was, because otherwise that would have been torture. Thinking I was going to be in that house for 3.5 months with some of the knuckleheads I was having to live with. Towards the end, I remember sitting there saying, oh, God, 25 more days. I can handle 25 days. Because I'd break it up and say, okay, that's 3 weeks and a couple extra days. That's not too bad. I can do that. And then 2 weeks. All right, I've been on trips that long. I can do that. But yeah, no, that's a long time to do it. But yes, how can I turn down a second opportunity of a lifetime? So if they brought me back, I would play again. And the key is, would I play the same way? I don't think I'd be quite as trusting. That kind of burned me a little bit last time, but I don't know that I could really be completely different from who I am. This is just me. I'd still be laughing, probably a little too loud. I wouldn't be overheard this time, I don't think, but it'd be fun to become a little bit more of a villain the second time around, just because I don't think people would expect it. And I'd surprise them. I'd give them that. And then I'd betray them all. And people say, what happened to that guy? Man, well, just having fun in the house. Yeah, I'd do it again if they gave me a chance. Justin Akasita is saying, Moss saying Jack has to rely on Matt winning HOH next week, or someone. And then Justin saying, unless Matt flips on him. Now, that's a big question. Is there a point at which Matt decides that he can't beat Jag and he gets rid of him? And apparently during the live feeds here, just as we came on, or maybe a little bit earlier than that, but apparently he was telling us Sarir Flish, I can't remember, I have to go back and look at my notes, but saying that maybe he'd be willing to flip on Jag at Final Four. I don't know if he's saying that just to make Felicia feel more comfortable or if he truly means it. I don't know, but if not, could you have a situation, do y'all remember, for some of y'all, Will, from season 16, where you had Derek and Cody and Victoria, and Cody had to make the decision. He decided to go with his buddy Derek, leave Victoria behind, and he lost. Derek won the thing. Could you have something similar where Matt has to choose between Jag and Bowie Jane? And I think Matt beats Bowie Jane any day of the week. And he ends up going to Jag instead and loses. You could have something similar to season 16 here. And I almost think that Matt would, I don't know. I almost think Matt would be willing to do it. But I also think that Matt is I think Matt has a side to him that we haven't had to see yet, or that we haven't seen yet, that he'll do what it takes, that he may not be quite as gregarious and friendly when it comes to the very end. I can see him making one or two tough calls, but so far he's been friends with everyone, so he hadn't had to worry about it. As far as the question about Jag has to win, or Matt has to win HOH to protect Jag, I thought so a few days ago, but now as I see them insulating themselves with so many people, they've got Felicia convinced that she's in a final three with Matt and Jag. If Felicia wins HOH, I can maybe see her not putting Matt and Jag on the block because she thinks she's safe with them, and instead maybe she puts America and Bowie Jane on the block. I mean, I can see something like that happening, which would blow me away that she would not send out such a big threat. But I'm about to the point where I'm not convinced that Matt has to win HOH for Jag to survive. There could be a couple other people that may get talked into leaving Matt and Jag alone. It's amazing. Well, what a game Big Brother is. Every season a little bit different in terms of the relationships, who's playing the game, who's not. That's what I love about the game. You just don't really know what to expect at all, right? As Julie says, yeah, I'm not gonna say it because y'all know what she says. All right, what else do we have on here? Let me see on this. Let's see. We've got Keith Franken saying, who is being evicted this week? And Christy Kosar saying, do they know it's a devil? Last question first. Yeah, they all know it's a devil. They know it's, in order for the numbers to work, for them to be done by day one, number 100, they know that at some point, two people have to go home. And so it makes a lot more sense to go from 7 to 5 than to go from 6 to 4. To lose that final 5 is just kind of, that'd be tough to do. There's too much, you have few people, and there's too much drama that could be created with that small a number. So I think they've all pretty much decided that, yeah, it's going to go from 7 to 5, which means a double on this Thursday. So I don't know anyone who doesn't suspect that's going to happen right now, which is kind of unfortunate because it means everyone's already planning for it. Now, we planned for it. We thought it was going to be a double from about week number 4 onwards. We sat there for 6 or 7 weeks saying it's going to be a double. It's going to be a double. When it finally was a double, we said, see, we knew it was going to be. Yeah, we've been saying that forever. But I do think they'll be prepared for a double eviction. So, yeah, that is the case. So busy talking about that when I forgot about the first question. Oh, Keith saying, who's going to be evicted this week? Well, what's funny is it's America and Blue on the block, and Blue thinks it's going to be America. America thinks it's going to be Blue, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be Blue that's heading out the door. I think they have convinced themselves that she is a bigger competitor, that she is more inclined to go after the two of them as opposed to America. So as of now, as much as this house flips them back and forth, that could certainly change. But as of right now, I think Blue is heading out the door. There's a part of me that I was blindsided. So why do I like blindsides? Well, it's because I'm also a viewer. There's a part of me that would love to see Blue absolutely blindsided come Thursday, be so certain that she's staying, and then they announce her name, she heads out the door. I guess that's the mean side of me. But there's a part of me that would like to see that, but it's not going to happen. I think Felicia and several others have all said, Bowie Jane have said, we probably need to tell them beforehand. Jag has said, yeah, we don't want to, from jury management standpoint, you maybe don't want to blindside people at this point because they may really hold it against them. So I think probably at some point tomorrow or maybe more likely Wednesday, they're going to tell Blue that maybe she doesn't have to worry too much about that double eviction coming up, that she may have a car mate heading out to the jury house with her. We'll see. Again, Thursday's a long way away. It could certainly change. But as of right now, I think Blue's going home. And I think it's time. Nothing against her. She's kind of a recruit. And America is a super fan. I'm always going to side with the super fan over the recruits just because I think they're more passionate about the game. All right. VTC JC Starl 015. Close enough. How many fights in your season and what were your responses? And now, no fist fights. Nothing that close. Fights though. We had Taco Tuesday between Christy and Nick, which was huge. My response to that fight was, please don't say my name. Please don't say my name. Please don't say my name and drag me into this thing. I was over in the corner watching the two of them argue and just thinking, oh God, I don't want to get involved with that. So that was one of them. We had at one point Kimmy and Bella kind of challenged each other. Kimmy was upset because she had called out Nick, and then Bella was Nick's girlfriend, showmance, so she challenged Kimmy, and they kind of got in each other's face, and it didn't become physical, but it certainly got to the point where they were kind of up against each other and challenging each other a little bit. And I know at the time, Nick was in charge. Nick was HOH, so certainly I was going to back up Bella a little bit more. Protect yourself. But they had that fight. What else? We had the boat room. The big argument about whether or not Kat knew Holly and Holly knew Mickey and all of that. Them arguing back and forth. We had the argument right after I got booted because Nick and Bella were caught off guard. They didn't realize they were booting me out of the house. So we had a few. And then, of course, we had the big one at the very end with Mickey and Tommy about whether or not Tommy had told us that he was going to or whether or not he had told Mickey that he was going to throw the last competition and this and that. So we had our share of them. My response always was, I just don't want to get drug into this. And I was involved in a little bit of one because Kat accused me of being in a alliance when it was her and I on the block. And she kept saying, Cliff, I can't believe you turned on us. You formed an alliance. It's like, well, I didn't form an alliance. Some people wanted to work with me. And what am I going to say? I'll do whatever it takes to survive. You and I are on the block, Kat. If they promise me safety, if I agree to join them, heck yeah, I'm going to do it. So she called me out at the time when we went out the door, said, as soon as someone wins HOH, Cliff's going to be up there talking to him. Well, you bet I am. Absolutely. That's the way you play the game. But that's the closest I came to getting involved in it. Closest I came to getting in a not fist fight, because I wouldn't have fist fought anyone, but to a physical altercation when I threatened Mickey at the very end to poison the jury if he sent me out the door and said, yeah, I'm going to guarantee that you don't win it if you do it. I could see the little veins on his forehead kind of pulsing and his jaw set, and he could have picked me up and thrown me off the balcony onto the first floor kitchen table, dining room table, and I wouldn't have been surprised. I was paying attention during that conversation, but it's part of it. It's a stressful time in that house, and so we had our fair share of fights while we were in there. But again, nothing physical, just a lot of upset people at times. All right, Crystal Clark saying, it's more remarkable how many comps Matt hasn't won. Is he throwing them? I've wondered the same thing. I kind of don't think he's intentionally throwing them, but I also think there is a time where if you know that you're safe, that you don't necessarily have to win one, it's not that you're going out of your way not to, but you just maybe don't have that fire in you. You maybe don't try quite as hard. Maybe you don't run 100% just because you're a little winded. And I think there's little things that he may not even realize that he's not getting 100%, but I mean, he's a competitive swimmer. I think he's used to winning, giving it everything he's got. I think he just hasn't won so far. Yeah, he's had a few of them. Was it against Cameron where he came so close to completing that little rocket alien puzzle, and then Cameron finished it just ahead of time? He came close on that. I think he just hadn't found the comp that he needed to win that thing. And then there's things like slip and slide. I don't know that they're going to have it this year. I think he would have done great in that competition, but it's not going to happen. Matt's in trouble. I really think he needs to win another couple of comps, or he's just not going to have the resume, because everyone is going to tell when he gets to final two, if he's against Jag, even though he saved Jag and he gets credit for that, I think there's going to be a lot of people saying you just rode Jag's coattails from start to finish. Yeah, you saved him that one time, but you also rode behind him and let him do all. They keep saying the dirty work, the over and over. That's the favorite term it says. You kept letting Jag do the dirty work, and you just rode along with him, Matt, and you didn't do anything yourself. And I think that's going to be the accusation. Now, if he turns around and wins that final HOH competition, part 1 and then part 3, and he selects Jag to take to the final 2, well, that may carry some weight. That may make a difference as well. But right now, yeah, I'm amazed that he hadn't won more. I would have, before the season started, you're giving me a competitive college athlete and telling me that he's only going to win a couple of competitions. Yeah, I would have never bought it. I would have said, nah, he's going to be the comp beast in this house. He just hadn't worked out. But part of it may be because he doesn't need to, because he's got Jag right there next to him. It is weird. I thought it'd be spread out a little bit more evenly. All right. Glen Crack Official LLC. She was licking her fingers while making the pickle wraps. Did y'all see that? Yeah, they were grilling yesterday, and Felicia was making her world famous, or at least Kennesaw, Georgia famous pickle wraps, which basically involves ham cut into long strips with cream cheese put on them, and then cut into long strips, and then wrapped around little slices of pickles. Cut, what do you call it? Cut on the, I don't know, cut the little circular, like pickle chips or whatever, with the ham and cream cheese wrapped around it, which actually sounds pretty well. And I've had something similar at little picnics and things like that. They're pretty good. But yeah, Felicia, while she was making them, was doing a little bit of, and then reaching into the pickle jar to get her pickles. And she got a little of her own DNA mixed in with pickle DNA. I guess there's such things as pickle DNA, right? It doesn't have to be human to have DNA. And it doesn't have to be living. Well, pickles are living anyway, right? They're just not mammals or anything. They're vegetables. I think they're vegetables, right? Anyway, it's probably just as well that no one saw Felicia and the way she was cooking those. I'm sure during my season we had some of the same. Jackson Mickey used to drink stuff out of the container, and if there was anyone around him, he would hold the container up a couple inches from his mouth and just let it pour in. Which, I was always thinking, well, you're still getting like nose breath in there and everything when you get that close. But whatever. I have a feeling when we weren't around, he maybe wasn't so worried about that. But I just tried to ignore it. You got to just, by the time we're in there, we're all sharing a bathroom together and everything. You just, whatever germs you got, I'm going to get anyway. So it is what it is. All right, let's see what else we got. Heather Von Hart Powell saying, I think it would have been fine if he put Bowie up. Who would have been fine? I'm sorry, I missed the first part of that. If Jag had put Bowie up, Bowie needs to go up. I can't believe that she didn't get put up. They tried it last week, and she raised such a stink. She started crying and freaking out so much they ended up not putting her up. They put up Blue instead, and then Blue got all upset. And then you got this whole, deal. Is it Blue versus Corey and all of that? And it just caused a lot of issues. Jag would have been a lot cleaner in that invisible HOH if he had gone ahead and put up Bowie Jane instead. But she cried a little bit, and he changed his mind. She kind of did it again this week. Just tell her, you got to be a pawn. If you don't trust us enough to know that you're going to be safe, well then, where are we at anyway? But yeah, she's and I think you're right. I think if he put her up as soon as soon as she was safe, then she probably would have been fine. And she probably would have said, all right, I did my duty to you. Now y'all owe me or something. But they just don't want to take the chance that they're going to lose Bowie Jane from a support standpoint, from a what if she gets an HOH? We don't want her to come after us. They're treating Bowie Jane with kid gloves as long as they need to. I think they want to, I don't know. Do they want to take her to final 3 over Felicia? Maybe, maybe not. I'm kind of iffy on which one of those they want to end up with at the end. I think they definitely want Blue gone. I think they want America gone. I think they want Sari gone. It's just a matter of who represents that final 3, Felicia or Bowie Jane. And as much as they've ragged on Bowie Jane, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it works out. And when I say rag on, I'm actually talking more about Felicia and Sari than anyone else. All right, Chaz is saying, if Big Brother calls you back and you have to pick 3 other players to enter with you on your team for the first month, who is your 3? God, yeah, that's a tough question because you can look at it 2 different ways. Is it the 3 people that I would have the most fun in the house with, just in terms of hanging around and everything? Because if that was the case, I don't know, James Hewling, Donnie Thompson, maybe. I don't know. You know, there's people that I think I would have fun just hanging out with while I was in there. But then if you're saying, who would I want to bring in and maybe be strategic with and form some partnerships with? Who would those kind of people be? Oh, who would those? Eric Stein. Was he season 8? I think he was season 8 with Evil Dick and all that. I'd love to come back in with Eric because I thought he was a great game player. Vanessa probably would be another one that I would certainly consider. I wouldn't pick Cody or Derek or anyone else because I just feel like they would be lightning bolts at this point in time. I wouldn't want someone who necessarily won the game. I'd want someone who showed they could play the game but didn't quite make it. So maybe the 2 of those. And I don't know. I'd maybe bring Nicole back. I'd love to play the game again with Nicole, but I couldn't do it because if both of us were in the house, they would target us so quick. If it wasn't her, it'd be me. So yeah, we're going to have to do the solo from this point on. Maybe Amazing Race or something, but for Big Brother, I couldn't do it. But yeah, I'd want strategic people that were very logical players. So maybe maybe an Eric Stein, maybe a Vanessa as well. And I don't know, let me sit on the third one. But those are the kind of players that I'd want in there. Mark Taylor saying, when is Slip and Slide? Vicky Stone saying, I want to see Slip and Slide. I don't know if they're going to do it because here's the thing. You can't do Slip and Slide as a first part of an HOH because it has to be on TV. It's going to be quick. It's going to be question and answers. For us, it was putting a little puzzle together, knocking a ball in a hockey goal. It has to be a pretty quick thing that you can show on TV. That's not Slip and Slide, which means it can't be when they're going from 7 to 6. It's going to have to be at the end of the double eviction episode, which means you're down to 5 people. Well, one person's going to be HOH. So now you only have 4 people competing. And I guess you could do Slip and Slide with just 4 people. I mean, theoretically you could. It just seems like a whole lot of setup just to have 4 lanes and 4 people going back and forth. I almost feel like we may not get it this year. If we do, it's going to have to be Thursday night after the double eviction episode is over. And at that point, then maybe they bring them back into the backyard after the episode's over and do Slip and Slide. I'd kind of like to see it myself. I feel like they're past the time when it would have worked well. Maybe they'll prove me wrong. It's going to happen on Thursday, and y'all are all going to say, well, see, Cliff, we told you so. Yeah, I acknowledge it could happen. I just don't think it will. All right, let's see what else we've got on here. Amanda Lowe saying, I think you should try out for Jeopardy. You know, I would have fun because I love doing trivia and all of that. But as soon as I get to like 15th century opera, I'd be like, yeah, I don't think that's going to work. Or the Napoleonic Wars. I got a lot of areas that I don't know a lot about. There's some things I do very well on in trivia, but those people are smart. I mean, they're really smart. I think I could hold my own. Hopefully I wouldn't go into negative numbers. I love watching Jeopardy. I'm impressed at some of what those people can memorize. It's amazing. All right. Taylor Mag is saying, if Jag and Blue get booted, who's your winner's pick? If Jag and Blue get booted, Matt has potential, but hasn't proven himself with comp wins. Now I agree. If Jag and Blue got booted, I think Matt I think Matt could turn it on. I would probably go with Matt. If not Matt, I'm gonna kind of go with America. I think she's kind of I think she could slip in there at the end. She's a super fan. She understands the way the last part of the game works. Now Felicia, I'm kind of impressed. She knows her dates and memory and all of that. I just don't think that she's got the mobility that's also part of those final HOHs. I just don't think she can do it. Sari, yeah, she's got great social management skills, but she's shown me absolutely zero indication that she can win any competition. You could have a coin flipping competition, and she'd still come in last place. Can you believe her chip never got drawn in the veto draw? This last competition, one person doesn't get picked, and it was Sari yet again. Apparently, Blue put her hand in the box to check, and sure enough, Sari's chip's in there. So it's not any dirty dealing from production or anything. She just has horrible luck. But yeah, I don't think Sari or Felicia is going to win it. So if it can't be Jag or Blue, and I don't think Bowie Jane's going to win it. I just don't think people are going to give her credit for doing anything. She spent too much time not giving her opinion to anyone else. And I think that's worse than not winning competitions. People want you to make some kind of declaration, even if you're wrong, even if you're on the wrong side of a House vote or an alliance or something else. At least someone knows that people know that you were fighting to try to do something. Bowie Jane has been so non-committal throughout this whole season that I don't think anyone's going to give her credit for anything else in the world, which means it comes down to Matt or Jag. My inside track bet would be on Matt, and if not him, I think America deserves it. We'll see. She spent a little too much time with Corey, but now if she turns it on now that he's gone, wins an HOH or so, pulls some power moves, she's still in the running, I think. I'd love to see it. She's from Texas. She's a super fan. There's a lot of reasons that I may be cheering for America, and she doesn't necessarily have HOH-itis like Jag does yet. Let her win one or two. That may change. All right. Ken T saying America would put up Matt and Jag. Yeah, I'm not going to put it past her too. I think I would. I mean, if I had a showmance in there, God, thank God, I would not have been able to survive with the showmance. Well, in the house. I don't think my wife would have let me survive outside the house if I'd had a showmance while I was in there. Yeah, that wouldn't have worked out so well. But yeah, they sent out Corey, and she's got to be upset. She can promise everything. She's trying to survive. She's doing what she has to do. We don't see America making these talks to the camera, so we don't always know what's actually going on in her mind. But I think she's told Sari and Felicia several times, if we don't get them out, they're getting the check. And she's saying that because it benefits her, but I think she also believes that. The key, if she goes after Matt and Jag, who does she have as protection? And you shouldn't be worried about that. You at this point, maybe you have to make the big move, but I have a feeling, say America wins HOH on Thursday, does she really put up Matt and Jag knowing that one of them maybe goes out the door, the other one now is coming after America? You probably then have Blue and Sari and Felicia ganging up. Well, not Blue, she's going to be gone, but you have Sari and Felicia ganging up and maybe coming after America after that. I think it's a tough road for America if she makes that move. In a lot of ways, as much as she needs some HOH wins for her resume, in some ways, her game maybe will last just a little, I don't know. I was going to say it'll last a little bit longer if she doesn't win HOH. I'm not even going to say that because I think a lot of people are going to put her on the block if she doesn't win it. So I retract that statement. I think she needs to win it for her own safety, but she's going to create a lot of enemies no matter what she does. It's going to be tough to recover. She's in a rough spot. All right. Anne saying Felicia throwing everyone under the bus. Oh, isn't she doing that? Why doesn't Jag check to see if she's telling the truth? Drives me crazy. There is no fact checking, which is completely 180 degrees different from last year. It seems like last year, no one could say anything in season 24 Big Brother without someone say, well, I'm going to go do fact check. I'm going to go ask 20 different, never mind, there's only 10 people in the house. I'm going to go ask 20 people to confirm this before I believe it. It was all about fact checking. This year, it doesn't matter. Jag hears that maybe he hears from Felicia that maybe Sari told Blue that she was the target. he doesn't check with Suri. He doesn't check with Blue. He checks with no one. He just immediately starts making new plans, new scenarios based on whether he believes it or doesn't believe it. And he's so focused. Once he decides what he thinks one way or the other, he's almost not willing to consider that he could be wrong, right? That maybe he's not really reading the house quite the way it needs to be read. He's just not. Once he decides, he's full steam ahead. It's a Jag train, and yeah, trains are tough to get off there. Once they get that momentum going, it's hard to get them off the tracks. And yeah, I would be doing it. Now I understand why Jag may not go to Blue and say, "Hey, did Suri come to you and say this?" But it seems like you could get Suri and Felicia in the room. Heck, yesterday you had in the comic room last night late. You had Matt and Jag and Suri and Felicia all in a room together. Are they talking strategy? Is maybe Jag saying, "Hey, I need to ask y'all this question and figure out what went on here"? No, he didn't do that. They spent all the time with Matt talking about how he couldn't go to the bathroom for 2 weeks when he first got in the house because there were always people in there and he would be embarrassed and all. I get that. It was weird. Oh, weird having that bathroom, people just hanging out in there. But that's all they talked about instead of actually calling out Suri and Felicia. If the two of them are in there together, maybe it's going to turn into a she said kind of deal and they'll accuse each other. But you would think that you'd get some kind of resolution of that and know who you can trust, who you can't trust. But yeah, no, you're right. It drives me crazy as well. Jag just decided, and it's all this what do they call it? Preconceived bias or whatever. Matt wants to believe Suri because the two of them are so tight. Jag doesn't want to believe Suri, maybe because he knows that Matt and Suri are tight. And so now Jag's trying to get a little closer to Felicia. So, of course, he's going to believe Felicia. Matt's going to believe Suri. And none of them check on the fact. It's almost like they don't really care what the actual facts are. It's more the perception that they can sell, the story they can tell to the other person. Yeah. Yeah, you're right. It drives me crazy that they don't just ask some simple questions. Everyone in the house, everyone has this final 3 or final 4 with Matt and Jag. All they have to do is start comparing notes and realize that they're all getting played. But I don't think they're going to do it because no one wants to tell anyone else that I've got a final 3 with those 2 guys, because then they're exposed. So everyone's keeping it quiet. And so no one's ever going to compare notes. It's actually brilliant on Matt and Jag's part. I'm just amazed that it's working. All right. What else do we have on here? Janet Johnson. Janet, thank you for all the support that you do on my YouTube every morning. You post that. Thank you. Who are 2 people you don't want to win or that shouldn't still be in the house? Now, you're going to get me in trouble, aren't you? All right. I'll give you 2 people just because. One, Suri. I love her social game. I love her people management skills. It's brilliant. One of my favorites of all time on Survivor because she wasn't some big buff person playing the game. I mean, she came in there just everyman USA kind of person playing the game, scared of the outdoors. I love Suri on Survivor. I just think that she got some unfair advantages when she came into this house. The way that she didn't compete in the first part, they all came in and there she is. So she already has special status, having her son in the house as well. I just think Suri got advantages that, I just feel like she got some advantages, right? It's the same way with Paul back in his second season where he came in and they gave him friendship bracelets that he could hand out to certain people. So people had to kiss up to him. I want everyone on equal footing, and I don't think Suri had that. So she's my first choice. My second choice is Blue, and it's just because she is so confident, and that's a bad reason. I just feel I don't think I'm seeing a real Blue, and I don't know why I even say that. I just feel like I'm seeing her what she thinks she should be in the house. I think we're seeing sometimes what she thinks is going to get the most drama, the most views, the most attention from the public. I think sometimes that she's less worried about playing the game and more worried about the publicity, some of her goodbye messages and all of that. I just don't necessarily think I've ever seen the true Blue inside what she wants to portray to the public, if that makes sense. I hope it does. So those are the 2 I'm going to say probably I just do not see at the very end. 7:57. We'll get these last few. Appreciate it, guys. REM saying Blue will be a bitter juror. Oh, I know. Well, she's going to be a bitter juror. If Felicia's in that jury as well, do you think the two of them are just going to sit in there and badmouth whoever's left and just ramp it up and up and up? And the question is, are they going to be two solitary bitter votes, or are they going to kind of poison the rest of the jury and get them feeling a little bit upset and taking things personal as well? I don't think so. I think Corey's always going to be, he loves the game too much. I think America would be the same way. Don't know about Matt or Bowie. Bowie could be a little bit of a bitter juror as well. But yeah, Blue's going to be very bitter. All right, Heather Van Hart Powell saying Bowie needs a turn on the block. Yeah, even if it's just as a pawn, you're right. She needs to see her face up there. Y'all know me. I've said many a time, I don't want anyone feeling too comfortable in the house. And part of that means you need a turn of sitting there sweating when you see your picture show up in that big old photo there when it comes time for nominations. She needs to see it. During my season, Holly wasn't on the block until the very end, and I thought she should have gone up a little bit earlier as well. Now I was working with her, so in some ways I'm glad it wasn't. But yeah, Blue needs to go up there. She's had it a little too easy so far this season. But the problem is, she's had it easy. I know she's feeling pretty comfortable with her position. I just think she's a dead man walking. I don't see her winning this thing because she's been a coaster. There's a difference between a floater and a coaster. I think she just has done nothing to help her game so far. She just kind of has been there. All right, Marilyn Sutherland saying Matt too. Yeah, good point. Matt has yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. I was going to say Matt has done so much from a social gameplay standpoint, and at least he can point to saving Jag and being tight with 3 and protecting himself, from that. He's kind of, when you have fighter pilots or whatever, you got the guy who's up front, and then you've got the guy watching your 6, the one who's watching behind and making sure no one sneaks up on you. I almost feel like that's what you got with Jag and Matt. Jag's the one that's blazing the trail, doing all the hard work. But then you got Matt kind of behind, making sure no one sneaks up on him and kind of watching his back end is the way I see it. And I'm not sure that's going to win you the money. So yeah, you're right. It's not just Bowie. Matt is also guilty of that as well. So fair point. All right, guys. With that, let's see what else we've got here. Oh, one more. Let me pull this up. Tim Cox. Tim, thank you, sir. I appreciate super chat as well. Says, thank you, Cliff, for everything you do. Well, thank you for your support, Tim. I appreciate it. As I said, I love doing this. I love talking to you guys. I love doing it all year long, but especially during Big Brother season, I just get an extra smile on my face, and it's just fun. There's just something about the humanity of this game. People are forced to kind of do the most devious, hard things. They're working under stress. Everyone has a different approach to the way they play the game, but I think it shows something about humans fight. Yeah, you don't want me. I just think it shows a lot about what people are made of, not the bad parts. The willingness to fight and do all kinds of different things in order to win their way and to make things better for them. I think it shows the best in people, even while showing the worst sometimes. Y'all know what I mean. All right, guys, with that, it's 8:00. We're going to shut it down. We could talk for hours, but we're not going to do it. So, guys, y'all have a fantastic Monday. I'll finish off with a big old SKD 143. Love my wife, love my kids, love reality TV fans, love y'all as well. As I said at the beginning, if you haven't already signed up for my channel, subscribe to it, please consider doing so. Turn on notifications. Give me a big old thumbs up. I love the thumbs up. Appreciate it, guys. I will be back tomorrow morning. We'll see what all's going on. Did Jag really say that he may turn on Matt? Matt say he's going to turn on Jag at Final Four? That could be interesting. So I'll be back tomorrow morning to talk about all of that, and then I'll certainly be back again next Monday for another Cliff Notes Live. But until then, guys, y'all have a great week. Enjoy. We got Halloween and everything coming up. October's going so fast. Y'all enjoy this week of October. I will see y'all tomorrow morning or next Monday. Until then. Cheers, my friends. SKD 143. Bye. Cheers, guys.